Hey guys, it's Kendall. Welcome back. This week's episode is called My Parents Are My Roommates.
Kendall, you know you're not fishing in the sink again.
All right, let's try this again. Welcome back. This week's episode is called My Parents Are My Roommates. And clearly, they are not pleased with my performance so far.
Okay, your room, your laundry. Teddy, tell your mother to clean up her laundry.
Hi, Kendall. Hey, let me get in the kitchen. What you want laugh like? What you doing?
What are you doing, Kendall?
Why don't you sit at the table to eat that?
Hi, my name is Kendall Vertes, and this is my mom.
This is also my sister.
Hey guys, it's Kendall. And this is Not So Little. You guys want to know what it's like living at home post-grad? You basically just have two new roommates. I still do my own laundry. That's fine. I still make my bed. Sometimes my roommate, mom, likes to make it for me, especially if there's people coming over. But I came down here to do my laundry. And I forgot to hit start. So, let's get this party started. Why don't we? I have the whole house to myself. So let's take the doggos out. Let's put the dishes away before someone mentions something. Come on, let's go outside. Woo! It's a nice fall day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here's my little Dolce. Here's the mamas. Yeah, see, I went to the dentist this morning because I have no teeth. I guess it's a thing with Pomeranians. They lose their teeth the older they get. Here's my beautiful Ted. Say hi, Ted. Also, one thing about Ted, which is love-hate. He doesn't go to the bathroom on his own. You have to go outside, stand in the grass with him, and watch him go. Let's make a deal. How much do you want to bet I'm going to get in trouble for my dishes being in the sink? I'm going to say my dad is going to say something. My mom won't, but my mom will say something about the laundry. And that's on living with your parents. It's me all the time if I ever went to therapy, especially after Dance Moms. And no, I've actually never been to therapy. This is my therapy station, my makeup vanity. I will sit here for hours and just do my makeup, kind of block out all the chaos that's happening. And I don't know, it's just like my room is my self-reflective area. I love to just be in my room alone sometimes. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. My mind is always racing. Where am I going to be in the next year? Who am I going to marry? What am I doing wrong? Why doesn't anybody date me? Why am I still living at home with my parents? And then I have to remind myself that I'm literally 22 years old and probably 60% of the population is right there with me. That's a big number. Maybe like 25% of the population is at home living with their parents post-grad. Let me tell you, it's been an experience so far. And if I'm being honest, it has been an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. I don't think I'm going to get emotional, but it's a lot. And you're in this like really weird period. Wow, why am I like, why is this kind of making me sad? You're in like a really weird stage of life. You see maybe some of your friends are getting engaged, or they're moving in with their partners, or they are going to grad school. They just got a job and they're moving to a brand new big city. And then here's me, on the other hand, moving back home to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with my parents. It's a lot. And every day is a new struggle. Every day I wake up with a different mindset of like, shoot, I have nothing to do today, or I'm going to make myself productive and kind of distract myself from the feelings that I'm feeling. So if you guys are feeling any of those things, just know you are not alone. On a happier note, let's give a little tour of my childhood bedroom. I am a very nostalgic person. I really don't change a lot about my room. Here are all of my childhood photos. I didn't really have a childhood, so when I came back home after college, I did not want to change a single thing about my room because I love to reminisce on my childhood, what I had of it, and just all of the memories that I've made. Here's Maddie and I when we danced at Abby's studio. Here's us at Kalani's bachelorette party when I was on the cover of Dance Track magazine. This was the first newspaper that I was ever in. I don't even know where this photo is from, but here's a picture for all my dancers. This is a picture of me and Travis Wall. my mom and I's, maybe not first red carpet, but definitely a red carpet from a while ago. The first movie I ever filmed. When I was in college, I came home as much as I could. I loved being with my parents, being in like this little bubble that we call Murraysville, Pennsylvania. I had the best college experience, but as someone who looks like an extrovert, I really am an introvert. I love to just be at home and kind of decompress by myself and watch Shrek and watch my favorite childhood movies. And so moving back home, I had this mindset of like, oh my God, I can't wait to be with my parents because I'm going to move to a big city in a few months and I just want to soak it all in. Now it's been a few months since I've graduated and there's a lot of thoughts that I have. I don't know where I'm going to go. I have a few ideas, but I don't have a group of friends in any of the cities that I'm really considering. So it's a lot. It's a big change. And I just have to keep reminding myself that life is too short to constantly have to keep moving. Like I said, I love being home with my parents. They're not going to be here forever. I want to soak in as much time as I can living under the same roof as them while I'm still able to. Anyways, that's about it, honestly, for my bedroom. I mean, there's been a lot of TikToks made in this mirror, and I have my whiteboard to kind of keep myself accountable for all the things I need to get done. I do my work meetings here. Obviously, this is my PlayStation. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of living at home with your parents, if I haven't already touched base on that.
It's a big adjustment, especially coming back from a college house, living with 3 other girls. You have basically, the world is your oyster. You have no rules. I mean, obviously you want to clean up after yourself and be a good roommate and be respectful, but like you're going out on a Tuesday, getting drunk, coming back home, going to class the next morning. Like here, it's kind of frowned upon, especially with my 2 parents. They don't drink a lot. So I am kind of adjusting to their lifestyle, which is fine. It's their house, their rules. But at the same time, living back home with your parents, it's a very humbling experience because the second you put a dish in the sink, Kendall, the dishes, you need to put them in the dishwasher right now. The second I do laundry, Kendall, come get your laundry. It needs to be folded right now. Put it away. It's like, okay, I would normally do that a few hours later, but it's their house, their rules. So that leads me to the best part of living with my parents is, I mean, they're my best friends. They will be totally, completely honest with me in whatever situation I bring forth to them. I really do love living back home with my parents. And I think the biggest thing for anybody who moves back home, you're saving so much money. Like I said, we're all 22. We just graduated college. Not everybody can get out of college and get a job and move to a new city right away. Like it's really expensive nowadays to do any of that. And so I feel like I am so thankful that my parents even offered to have me come back home and stay with them. My 2 older sisters, who I'm 7 and 8 years apart from, they also, well, actually the middle sister went to Arizona and just never came back home. I don't blame her. But Riley, my oldest sister, after she graduated college, she moved back home with my parents, got a job in the city, and was commuting here to the city, I think, for almost 2 years. And so she lived back at home. Then her and her husband got a house together. And so she is basically, she did what I would like to do. I don't have a boyfriend who I'm going to move in soon with, but I am going to save as much money as I can. And they don't mind. They love having me here. Anytime I bring up moving, they're like, nope, next subject, next topic. And so I do love it, but I hate it at the same time because it's like, all right, my roommates are both 60 years old. Do I feel more grown up or less grown up living here? I would say off of the top of my head, obviously less grown up here. I can't bring boys back over here. Why would I meet a boy and bring him back to my place just to meet my parents for the first time? Like, should I take you to an HOA meeting as well? No, we're not doing that. I will say the one thing about dating at home, or the one annoying thing about living with your parents, is you don't really get privacy. Yes, my door is shut. That doesn't mean anything to them. They will barge in. No knocking. We've never been a knocking family. We barge into rooms here. And so if I'm on the phone with somebody or I'm FaceTiming, a link or whatever, and my mom's like, who's that? Like, I go back into like my little 13-year-old self and I either hang up or turn the volume down and like put my phone over because like that's embarrassing. I do feel like a kid again. And like I said, with my childhood, not really having one, I love being back home in this nostalgic place. I mean, every day I'll find a photo from my childhood in the basement or in the living room. And I just like will sit there and soak it all in. And like I said, I love waking up and going downstairs to my parents, eating breakfast together, or them talking about a funny memory, or them talking about a trip, or we just came back from Italy. Like I love having my parents as my roommates right now, but I don't feel like I fully entered my adulthood yet, simply because I'm still living with my parents and I am still like, hey, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'll see you guys later. Or can I go downtown? Or can you guys watch Ted while I do this? Like I'm still asking for permission, obviously. And so that aspect, it's like, okay, how much longer can I really put up with this? Or how much longer am I really going to have to, put myself in this situation where it's like, why would I be doing this if I could go move into a big city and be on my own? But we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. I have created a great routine for myself with my job. I can do it from wherever. I don't have something every single day that I need to work on. So it does get pretty boring at times. I kind of have free reins, and I know it sounds amazing, but trust me, I see all of my friends who are either in grad school or have 9-to-5 jobs. And I'm like, wow, that is great structure that they have in their lives now. I don't have that. I have the structure of waking up, making breakfast, and then I have to create a plan to keep myself occupied, or else I'd literally go clinically insane. Hold on, guys. We need to have a little talk. Is it socially acceptable for 30-year-olds to be using Snapchat? Let's say anybody over the age of like 27 to be like fully communicating just on Snapchat. I think that's insane, and I think that's such an ick. But like with the other people who are my age, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like I would rather you send me an Instagram DM than a Snapchat of your face. I'm so sorry. I need to hear what you guys think about that, because I think it's weird. And I really wish men would grow up. I wish they would grow up. I was only surrounded by 50-year-old men my entire childhood. The producers, the production crew, everybody who worked on Dance Moms, they were grown men. And so I matured very fast. And so when I see guys or even girls who are my age that act not their age, I'm like, wow, I can't say anything. I just have to, like, it's a canon event. And like, I just wish men would grow up. You're 30 years old and you still need to grow up. What's one embarrassing story that's happened since I've moved back home? I mean, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing, but I love my athletes. Okay. So anytime it's a Pittsburgh athlete, I obviously tell my dad. He's a huge Pittsburgh sports fan. And then it doesn't work out. And it's like, oh. And then the week later, after they either ghost you or you don't hear from them, or you're not into it or whatever, and your dad's like, oh, hey, how was blah, blah, blah. And you're like, actually, we don't talk anymore. We went cold turkey on each other. And he's like, what? Like, my parents don't understand that dating in this day and age is so different from when they were our age back then. Like, I literally got into a full-blown argument this morning with my mother. She asked me how this guy was. I haven't heard from him in over a week. I'm not the type to chase anymore. I used to. I don't chase anymore. I'm going to let him soak in whatever he's feeling. If you don't want me, fine. I'm not going to like double text you, because I was the last person that texted. Anyways, she doesn't understand that like men these days will just find a new fixation literally within 24 hours and move on from you so fast and leave you quite literally in the dust. And she just doesn't understand that. And I feel bad, because I did kind of snap at her. She doesn't get it. And it's hard to explain, because the thought process of men these days and dating is so out of the ordinary, and it's so unfair. That's another thing about having your roommate be your dad, is he is the man that you will always need in your life. He will tell you exactly what to text the car people who are fixing your car. He will put together the new Pilates thing the Pilates reformer that you just bought. Like, having a man, but it's your dad, like, he will do anything. He will drop whatever he is doing and do it for you. That is the perk of living with your father. I think the second most embarrassing thing that I have done since I've been home is I got caught dancing on the Ring camera, like full blown, like popping it, locking it, dropping it. How do I date now that I'm back home? I literally wrote down, I don't. a little bit of a TMI maybe, but like it's just you guys, I will always go to their place. Like I don't want you coming to meet my parents and seeing my dogs and meeting my neighbors, because Lord knows everybody's active in this neighborhood. And if they see in my driveway, they're going to come and talk. So I like to travel to the guys. I like to travel to my man, who's not actually my man, because if I scream my man, I get ghosted. And I actually don't have a roster right now. It's non-existent anymore. It is Casper the Ghost. Yeah, I don't really date at home. I've only ever brought like one boyfriend back here, and it's only because he wasn't from Pittsburgh, so he obviously had to stay here, and he's met my parents before, whatever. But I don't know, I feel like the dating these days, it's like you go out to dinner once, maybe you go to their house a few times after, and then that's it. And then they find the newest, prettiest, shiniest penny, and they leave you in the little coin exchange. That was the worst analogy I've ever come up with, but whatever, you guys know exactly what I mean. So yeah, dating at home, not great. And then when you tell somebody, when you're like really excited and you're like, wait, this is actually going good, you tell your parents, then you start to tell your sisters, and then you start to tell your friends. And then that's actually when all hell breaks loose, because then your parents start asking about him. Then your friends are like, oh my God, when are you going to see blah, blah, blah next? And your sister's like, wait, he doesn't even follow you back on Instagram, drop him. And it's like, oh my God, what am I doing? Who do I listen to? What do I do from here? It's not easy. It's so not easy. I literally was texting my sister this morning. She's like, he doesn't even follow you back on Instagram. I'm so sorry, but you deserve so much better. What feels most not so little about me here? I mean, waking up with my parents downstairs, and I don't know, waking up and being like, wow, I'm 22 years old and I just arose from my childhood bedroom. Just arose from my childhood bed. I open my closet and there's my freaking pink tutu from when I first started dance. I go to my bathroom and there's a freaking baby picture of me in the tub. I would never have this, any of this, in my adulthood bedroom, but I do love the nostalgia of it. But the scenery is getting a little old. If someone told me at 18 that I'd be back here at 22 living with my parents, would I believe them? Absolutely not, because I will say this. After Dance Moms, I moved back to Pittsburgh. We were in California for 3 or 4 years. I moved back to Pittsburgh, and it would have been my last year in middle school. I had a conniption. I had a hissy fit. I said, I'm not going back to school. I need to move back to California. I'm going to live out in California and do whatever I want. My mom said, no, you're 14. You're going to go to middle school, and you're going to meet friends, and you're going to join an extracurricular sport, and you're going to actually have a normal childhood, since you didn't for the past 14 years. And so I went to middle school. I finished up my last year, and then I said, all right, I finished middle school. I guess I have to go to high school. Who drops out after middle school? Nobody. So I went to high school. I met my best friends. I joined the golf team. I made great friends through that. I went to dances. I had my first breakup. I actually was living the Hannah Montana lifestyle. I felt like a normal kid. And so after that, I said, all right, I did my time. It's time for me to go back to LA. Everybody was talking about, oh, I'm going to go to Penn State. Oh, I'm going to go to IUP. I'm going to go to West Virginia. I'm going to go to blah, blah, blah. I was like, you guys have fun with college. I'm going to move back to California and continue where I left off. My mom said, no. You are now going to go get a college degree. I thank God every day that my mom convinced me to go to college. That was the best 4 years of my life. I learned so much about myself. I had my first true, real relationship. I joined a dance team. I won my first ever national title. It was something that I'll never get to experience again. And like I said, I thank God every day that she is the reason I went to college. And I didn't even look at any colleges. I got an offer from University of Kentucky, and I got an offer from James Madison University. I got turned away from Penn State. And so I was not picky at all. I had half of my family lives in Virginia. They all went to JMU. They were like, you're going to love it. It's a beautiful school. You're 4 hours from home. If you need to come home, great. If you don't need to, great. And they were right. It was everything I could have imagined. It was perfect. It was like, I love college, but I will say I reminisce a lot about high school. If I could go back to either or, I would totally choose high school. High school was probably the best 4 years of my life because that was me trying to find myself again in my hometown and meeting friends and doing the things that I never thought I'd even be doing because I wanted to stay out in California. So I wouldn't believe them that I'm living here, but unfortunately, with my brain and the way that I'm so indecisive with any decision, I'm not surprised. Me at 18, scary. I was a really scary high schooler, but not actually. Like my parents would go on work trips over the weekends and I'd obviously throw house parties. And I don't know why I'm such an idiot, but the first house party I ever threw, like some people slept over because I didn't want them drinking and driving. Yes, we were underage drinking. No, my parents did not have any idea. It was like beer and a White Claw maybe. And we have shades in our living room that are never down. I don't think they've ever even been touched. They're always up. And I guess some people slept on the couch downstairs, so they pulled the shades down. I didn't even care to put them up. There was beer caps on the floor. There was pong balls in the bushes. Like, I honestly think I wiped the countertop and was like, yeah, they won't know. When I left that day and I came back, the house stunk of beer, like stunk of it. I don't know. And they were like, listen, no more house parties. That was my slap on the wrist. They were like, stop. Like, don't do that. We have a Ring camera, so they could obviously see. I don't even know if it was working at the time. It might not have been, honestly, because they definitely would have called the neighbors on us. But did you even go to high school if you didn't have a house party at your house at least one time? And I had them pretty frequently, but I also got a lot smarter. One thing that I miss once I move out of my home would definitely be just having my parents with me and, I don't know, getting their advice on things or going to dinner with them. Honestly, waking up on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning and watching football with my dad. Like, those are the things that I love. I'm such a family oriented person. My grandma lives 5 minutes from us and I see her as much as I can. God bless her soul that she's even here with us. She's 87. It's also nice just having people care for you no matter the circumstances. Like, yesterday I mentioned I was craving pot pie, chicken pot pie, and my mom went out to the store and got me a chicken pot pie and didn't even think twice about it. So just like little things like that, I'll miss having somebody care for me the way that they care for me. Because living on your own, it can get very lonely. And I still feel lonely here. But then when my parents come home, I'm like, it's kind of like this weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, all right, I still have them. I'm not living alone just yet. I think that's honestly the only thing that's really pulling me back is being on my own, because I can get pretty deep into my thoughts and it's a little scary because then I start to spiral and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? What path should I take? And so having my parents here to kind of talk through that with, it's really refreshing because they will always have my back. I honestly think the main thing about living at home and being at the age of 22 is you're still discovering a lot about yourself. Like I mentioned before, I learned a lot about myself during college. In those 4 years, I'm a completely different person than when I first came to college. And I feel like I'm still learning myself to this day. And I honestly love it. Every day I wake up with a different agenda and a different mindset. And it's okay because I know there's a plan for me. And I have zero patience. There's a zero patience. I'm under it, honestly. I want to be in that city. I want to have that job. I want to be married. I want to have a family. Right now, I'm taking this little transition period for granted, and I know I'm going to regret it. So I'm starting to teach myself that this is okay. Everything that I'm feeling is okay. It's normal. We're all figuring ourselves out. Yes, we are 22. We're not fully developed yet. I'm going to have good days. I'm going to have bad days. That's fine. That's what makes you grow as a person, as an individual, as a friend, as a family member. Every single thing that I've experienced since I've moved back home has made me a better person. And I feel like, especially if you move back home with your parents, it may feel like you're not in adulthood anymore. No, this is the start of adulthood. You are learning to be independent while having your parents with you as it's like a little jump start. I don't know. It's like the little cushion as I literally start tearing up. It's all going to be okay. And I wish I wasn't so eager to leave this place and start my life because I know I'm going to miss it. But at the same time, I love being able to experience post-grad back home and have time to figure out my life. Moral of the story, this is just the beginning of our adulthood. Don't take it for granted if you're living back at home with your parents, because it's freaking amazing and you're going to miss it when you don't have it anymore. Mom, Dad?
We're down in the kitchen.
All right, we're having an intervention. What is the most annoying part about having me, but a child moving back at home in general?
Okay, you go first.
Take the camera over to the sink and we'll look and see what dishes are in the sink. That's the most annoying part.
I get it. I have my tendencies
Now,
of
I'm
being a
happy
messy person.
to take care of you and clean up after you.
After her
However,
dog.
I think you clean up after my dog now more than me. I think mess creates the tendency to want to rot and like lay in your bed all day and be lazy and eat junk food. When you have a clean room, I feel like you feel more productive with your day. Like if you start your day by making your bed, you already have a good day.
That's a good start.
And a clean
Yeah, but-
space. I just
very
need
good
to
start.
I just need to do it.
yeah, you need to get out of it first and then make it and then have a clean space.
Do you feel like I'm an adult now, or do you feel like I'm still a kid?
Oh, you've got so much grown up to do.
I think you have
I think you're mature.
Whoa.
Every 22-year-old
wasn't
has a lot of
expecting
growing up
that.
to do.
I think you're showing adult tendencies, but you're still young. You're still
They just haven't poked through yet.
no. You're still 22 years old. Don't be in such a hurry.
Yeah, don't be in a rush.
However,
It's-
you're way ahead of the curve. You know, you have your own business and you travel on business and you have this worldwide network of friends and contacts. It's unbelievable. But yeah,
yeah, you're lucky. You're in a great space, so take advantage of it. Suck it all in. Take advantage of us,
Oh yeah.
of your home.
You're 60.
Now, do you have to say that?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, you're on your way. But yes, I think you have a lot of growing up to do, but I think every 22-year-old does.
I think when I'm home and in this like scenery, I tend to be myself more and be a kid and leave my dishes and not clean my room. When I'm traveling and I'm on my own, obviously it's like, okay, I need to put my big pants on.
She leaves all her shoes at the front door or the garage door or...
You always
You leave
take off your
stuff-
shoes when you enter someone's house.
Yeah, but I put mine away. This
Where do I
isn't
put mine?
someone's. This is
Where do I put mine?
right there on the floor.
No, where should I put mine?
In the closet or up in your room.
There's no space. We honestly don't have space in this house.
She has
I've
now
also-
3 bedrooms and 3 closets.
I have taken over my sister's rooms. That's besides
Yes.
the fact. What's the funniest thing I've done since I've been home?
Okay, she brought home a puppy after we said
That's
no
not funny.
more pets.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
No, yeah. We're still laughing.
I already know this answer. Would you rather I stay home forever or move out?
No, I don't want you to stay home forever.
Well, they're also not going to stay here forever.
No. Like you said, you're not going to grow here. A year or two, find your way, find where you want to be, and you'll be off and running, but you're still young.
It would be nice if my friend here decided to get married and then I stay in Pittsburgh.
What friend here?
No, we're not going to name names.
Oh, I don't know who we're
We
talking
can't name drop.
A friend, a friend who might be a boy that she might like. Oh, my Lord Almighty.
What would your top 3 roommate complaints be about me?
dirty dishes, and dirty dishes. Kendall buys the most awesome, fun shit and stuff.
I was eating your food, obviously.
Good, as you should, because she gets mad when I buy food and then it rots because I travel so much.
I just don't want you wasting money. You waste a lot of money. That is a complaint. Be smarter with your money. And I do think you're smart with your money. I also think you waste it.
This is a good lesson for everybody who's freshly out of college. It doesn't matter if you have a job, you have $10 in your savings. The number one thing that I'll tell my kids when they're my age is to invest your money as soon as you can.
Complaint. Well, can I say what I love? I love
you need
when
one
you get
more.
your packages because I love to see what's in them. But then you
I
leave
sense a little bit of contradiction.
Here's the complaint. Then you leave a stack of boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever she unpacks everything.
I leave them
Bam.
for the
goes
father
through it.
that works in a box business.
Did you just say foo-foo?
She goes through it and then leaves it all.
You put those boxes to great use in this household.
Sometimes not the
Christmas,
ones you cut open.
I'll
there.
order something from Gucci, and she's like, "Oh, I'll save this box for Christmas." Then my poor sisters think they're getting something from Gucci for Christmas. So my 3 complaints for you guys. As
Wait, we didn't ask that question.
Well, that's my show.
Good Lord.
I would say for mom, 1, as you can really tell when she wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, like instantly you can tell that she's
Okay,
just
because
not
I've had
having a
3
good
dogs
day.
sleeping on me all night. And
God
the cat
forbid
comes
your
in the middle
animals
of the night and they all go,
love
"Brrr," and they like give me a heart attack.
Every
My
night.
second complaint about her is when we're not a knocking family. Nobody knocks on a door before we enter. She just comes right in. True story, I'm in the shower last week. She slides open my shower door
I had
and
something
says,
to say.
"Why did you throw away these lip glosses?" I said, "Mom, because I didn't want them." She goes, "Well, you could save them for your cousins." And slams the shower door. I'm literally standing there like
said it
this
that
naked.
mean.
No,
That
you
was
were.
a moment.
That was a day that she woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Waste.
My third complaint is when I open up to her about, let's say I'm having a problem with a good friend, or me and a guy don't talk anymore, or something like that. I tell her my story to kind of vent. She's like, "Okay, well, like, blah, 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 blah." We talk it out. Then the next day, "Well, did you text him? Well, did you call her? Well, what are you waiting for? Why aren't you reaching out to them?"
Well, because
She sometimes likes to take the other person's side.
No,
You play devil's
I-
advocate almost a little too well.
No, I want you. What is my saying about being a friend?
Well, you have to be a friend to have a friend.
You have to be a friend to have a friend.
Of course, I'm not
So
saying.
I want you
that's
to
not valid.
always be the better person, to always be the one reaching out.
Oh yeah,
I don't want
I
you
think
to
that's
hold
a great thing
grudges.
that you've taught me, and I do carry that into my adult life, especially with friendships. And speaking of friendships, it's crazy. The older you get, the less friends you have. I used to think that you needed an abundance of
Right,
friends
you
to
just
have a
need a
good life.
couple really
you just
core
need, like
people.
you've
Yeah.
had your core. You've had your core of.
It's important. And
Okay, so my complaints
through
for
the
Dad.
years, you will find out who your good core friends are, the ones that stick with you through thick and thin.
Yeah.
That believe in you, and then you'll weed the other ones out that just don't.
Also,
get
sometimes,
you.
which this sounds a little mean, but sometimes the trash does take itself out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes not a big blowout fight doesn't have to happen. It kind of just fades away and it's like, oh, maybe that was for the better. So my dad has type 1 diabetes. He will sometimes go to bed and not check his sugar. So then in the middle of the night, we hear this
he has
blaring alarm.
Dexcom. He has
He has a Dexcom, so it alerts him when his sugar is dropping or when it's
called?
too
A
high.
sensor.
So it usually goes off 2 to like 4 a.m. We'll hear the alarm.
That's fun.
And my mom's friends, we would go on vacation with my mom's friends all the time, and they also have talked about the blaring Dexcom alarm in the middle of the night. So that's one complaint, but it's also a health issue, so it's okay. My second complaint, which you haven't done in a really long time, I think because I complained, is when you made those god-awful Parmesan chips from fresh.
the stink.
Oh my God, it smelled like armpit, crevice.
Oh, okay.
Private part smell throughout the house.
The picture.
Your Parmesan crisps were the worst thing I've ever
And
smelled.
then he'd eat them all up.
And my nostril hairs, they cinched off. I would say my third complaint, which is for both of you actually, they never invite me to play pickleball.
That's not true.
I've been complaining more frequently, so they have been inviting me more, but they'll invite me and I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm not going to be here. And they're
She's
like, oh,
never
okay.
here. Okay.
Kendall's
Okay,
actually a nice
so
little pickleball player.
Of course.
No, my
she
guys, my
is.
parents are going to San Diego for a pickleball tournament.
That we qualified
That
for.
they qualified
We won
for.
first place for, and then you get to go. But anyway, that's not the point.
That's true.
We play pickleball at 8 a.m. In the summer, we played at 6:30
Yeah,
when
maybe
the sun
be
came
more
up.
of a strict parent and say,
This one's
get up.
still in bed. I'd go play for 2.5
plays
hours.
every day.
Come home. She's still in bed.
Glad we got the complaints out of the way. Whew, that was...
Good Lord.
Really
I
raining
thought
down
this
on
was
me.
going to be fun.
What would be one piece of advice that you would give your younger self at my stage of life? So if you were 22 and you could tell yourself something, what would it be?
I loved 22. But see,
I think
I
being
got
in
out
your
of
20s
college and I went right to work.
Well, yeah,
9 to 5.
yeah.
And then it was at the club, and it was fun, and I'd stay there all night. So I really wasn't home
And you
much.
met your
but
husband there. I feel like you had a great 20s. Like,
I had a great time. I had great. You will too.
I was in the service
Honey, I didn't finish.
at that age.
I didn't finish.
And at the time, I thought it wasn't for me. And I look back, and it was really a special time in my life. So I would say, if I could give myself advice, I would stay in and make it a career.
aw, really?
Wow.
I always tell people that you still talk about the Air Force and the stories and the memories and the friends that you met.
Well,
I also say that my parents also wanted me to enlist.
We did.
we recommend it to all of our children.
Yeah.
And they recommended it to my friends.
Well, one in particular.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because if you don't have direction, like someone didn't have, if you
totally
don't
agree.
have family support,
It's
or
the best thing
money,
you could do to turn your life around.
don't take yourself seriously. Like, enjoy this time, enjoy your freedom, keep up with your friends.
That's a good one.
Keep your friendships going and growing,
But you do.
and you will live a really
You've done it.
successful, full life.
Yeah, I like that. I like both of those.
We're lucky to have you.
Can't wait to come into your room today and watch funny TikToks, right?
Yeah, yeah, we did.
So my dad watches YouTube Shorts, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
My dad will wake up around 4. That's like usually the time he wakes up, and
The dogs wake him up, but
he'll come down here and lay on this exact couch and just scroll through YouTube Shorts for a few hours. Mom and I are more TikTokers.
You do TikTok coma.
Oh yeah, Dad does say. She was in a TikTok coma last night. It's like she has a barrier up. She can't hear you.
Yeah,
My dad and I are literally crawling
TikTok
over her
force
to get
field.
up and down the house. Anyways, well, thanks for doing this. Thanks for sitting with me.
Yay, you're welcome.
Yes.
What can we do next week too?
Good luck in your podcast.
Yeah,
Kendall.
here we go.
See you next
You're gonna be
Thursday.
amazing.
Woo, wrap it up. That's a wrap. When I left the house, there were no dishes in this sink. Get over here and get this picture of these dishes.
That makes sense.
I bet $10 that Dad would have been the one to say something about the dishes. Let's make a deal. How much do you want to bet I'm gonna get in trouble for my dishes being in the sink? I'm gonna say my dad is gonna say something, my mom won't, but my mom will say something about the laundry.
Kendall K, clean up your mess.
Wait till you see the laundry room. There's a surprise in there for you.